Hey everybody, Mike here with Backpacking TV. For the past year, I've been working as the host of our TV show, Epic Trails, traveling around the world to some of the coolest locations. And today, we are going to talk about not getting on other people's nerves while you're hiking. I think that being considerate is the best thing that a person can be. Inconsiderate people annoy me irrationally. I think that people who are inconsiderate may frustrate me more than people who are just downright evil. Because at least mustache-twirling villains are having a good time. So we're not going to be talking about obvious things like, littering, leaving trash behind, arson. We know that that's not a good thing to do, right? So we're going to talk about little mistakes that an otherwise completely rational person might make when they're out on the trail. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is picking the right campsite for rowdy camping. Rowdy camping, and that's just what I'm calling it, that's going out in the woods with your friends and having a good time, laughing, maybe being a little bit loud, having a campfire, swapping stories. I think there's a time and a place for that. And you want to make sure before you go out into the woods that you've picked an appropriate place for rowdy camping. I think BLM land, that's Bureau of Land Management, can be a great place to go out with your buddies and have a good time. Be more careful if you're looking at a place like, a known campsite on the Appalachian Trail. Because when you're in areas like that, big multi-day trails, there's a good chance you're going to run into people who are doing through hikes. And these people, they hike a lot. Each day is pretty big, each day is pretty exhausting. So when they get to a campsite, they're going to want to be able to chill out and relax. And if you've got groups there who are having a lot of fun, being a little loud, it can be frustrating. I'll give you an example. Back many, many moons ago when I led hiking trips, we would hike along the Appalachian Trail, and sometimes we would stay in locations where through hikers would stay. I'm thinking like the Red Barn, if anybody's ever been there. It's in Tennessee or North Carolina. It's right there near the border. Good spot, but there would be a lot of through hikers coming through there, and I always had to remind my people, shh, these guys and gals, they have like a really big day. They hike for 20 plus miles, and then they go to sleep at like 8:30, and they wake up with the sun the next day. So you don't want to bother them. So next up, we're going to talk about right of way. This is a super simple one. The idea is you're walking down a trail, a very narrow trail. Somebody else is walking up the trail, a very narrow trail. Who gets out of whose way? Well, the big rule of thumb, you got to remember, is whoever's going up has the right of way. The idea behind that is it's harder to gain that steady momentum when you're hiking as opposed to, hiking up, as opposed to when you're hiking down. So if you're coming down the hill and you see somebody coming up the hill, step out of the way. Let them keep on trucking. If you're on perfectly flat ground, I just try to get out of people's way as much as I can. If you see somebody who's maybe having a tougher time, try to be considerate, get out of their way. Super quick section. Basically just wanted to sum it up. If you're going up, you have the right of way. If you're coming down, you don't. And the last thing I want to talk about is very divisive, and that's external speakers blasting music while you're hiking through the woods. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know some people are exceptionally vitriolic in their distaste for that sort of thing. Here's the thing. Here's what I think about playing speakers while you're hiking. It is your choice whether or not you want to listen to music while you hike. And that's good. We should all have that choice. And that's the problem, is that when you're blasting your music on a speaker, you're taking that choice away from somebody else. Somebody else, maybe they want to just listen to the sounds of nature. They want to disconnect. They want to unplug and get away from all the noise. And here you're introducing the noise into this area where other people don't want to hear it. And believe me, they can hear it. Music carries in the woods, especially if you're in a place that's conducive for the sound waves to just reverberate. And you want to be considerate of other people. That's what this is all about. And I know the big defense about playing music on a speaker is that it keeps the animals away, the bears, stuff like that. Bear attacks are exceptionally rare.
I know they happen more frequently in certain places, but for the most part, they're exceptionally rare. And yes, your speaker might alert bears to your presence, but you know what else they do? They also alert and scare off every other animal in the woods. And that kind of stinks. You don't want to be doing that. Part of the reason that you're out there is to kind of be out there and see everything unchanged. And you're spooking all the animals. That's not good. You're kind of bugging other hikers who don't want to hear your music. That's not good. If you want to listen to music, just use headphones. Headphones. And that's my first top 3 list of things that are frustrating for other people when you're out in the woods. I'll think of a better title than that. Yeah, be considerate, be kind, be cool. And until next time, I'm Mike with Backpacking TV, and I will catch you all later.